last day of the year. How was this year for you?
For the band, it was actually pretty good. Yeah. So it was. We achieved a lot of things in the UK. So that was great. We had more than 60 gigs, I think. So that was nice. Could have been more, but you have to be happy with the amount that we got, because these days everyone is touring, right? So there's that we really noticed when we're in the UK touring. There's like every evening in every city there's like so many bands playing. So it's in putting things to perspective, I think we did quite well this year. Yeah.
Have you got everything you were planning? Have you got everything you were planning for this year?
Do we have any plans for, or do we know exactly what's going to happen? Is that what you mean?
No. Every year people do plans for the year.
Oh, like, you know, promises, and this is what we got, like New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Yeah, we're going to try to make our best album so far. We are starting the album number 6, and we have already started a little bit thinking of the songs and stuff like that. So I think my biggest, personally my biggest kind of plan for the year is to just try to write good songs, try to really make a good album, next album, and then as a person I have some resolutions in mind. Try to stay fit, try to be kind to people, and along those lines. Things that you don't remember anymore when 1 month is gone. So. But anyway, yeah.
And you released your 5th album this year. Is it different?
It's yeah, I think. I mean, when you look back of all the albums we made, you could say that it's for me personally, it's always like a step forward. But then, if you're a fan and you just listen to the songs, you can hear that maybe the production has changed around the music, but the music itself is somehow so comes so naturally for us. So it's of a similar type, you know. And but I would think that as a band we have developed a lot, you know, from those days when we started to the day where we are now as a band, as a 5-piece band. We have developed a lot, and our the live thing has developed a lot, and I'm very happy, you know, that the band is working so well. And the 5th album, this is the first album that actually, you know, got like good sales outside of Finland, and also got recognized, you know, to the wider audience. It was the kind of the first or the second album, but we have made a long career already. But yeah, it was, you know, it was ranked quite high up in the yearly polls. In quite good medias in the UK, so we're quite happy how it was received.
And what's this album about?
Nightlives. Well, you know, the themes that we write about is usually has to do with like a person's longing towards something, towards love, or towards some kind of fulfillment in life that is something else than just the mundane things. You know, we hardly ever sing about, you know, oh, I really want to have a beer, you know, something like that. It's always like something a little bit more poetic or a little bit more spiritual, I would say. I don't know. I mean, it's very hard to put in words your own music, your own art, you know, because everybody who listens to it, they have their own subjective opinion about what they hear, and usually it has to do with their lives more than the actual life of the writer. So when they are in some kind of life situation, that one song kind of you know, stirs something up within them in that moment, and it's very hard as a writer to even think that you would create this. When you write something which is a little bit more like vague or not so graspy, you know, like, you know, it's not hard to, you know, let me have a banana, you know, that everybody understands it in the same way. But when you say that, you know, you turn it around and say that I yearn for something to fulfill me, and don't say the banana thing there, you know, everybody kind of can figure what they want, you know, and so that's how we write songs. So.
And where do you get inspiration?
From many places, other songs, other bands, Disco Ensemble, for example, a great Finnish band. When you go and see them live, you know, they're a really good live band. When you go and see them, you're just like very inspired after that. You're thinking that, oh, they have so much energy, it's such a good band, you know, I want to be like them. Or when you go and see a movie, there might be a story in the movie that really like makes you think about things, and then something might come up from that. Or when you go and see art in a gallery or something, you might just look at the picture for half an hour and kind of feel that it's somehow magical, and you try to put into words what you're seeing. So many things, and also everyday life, conversations, when you talk to somebody, you know, that somebody might say something and then you start thinking a little bit differently, and then that kind of turns into a song. You can never really say where it comes from, the inspiration. It just might come from anywhere actually. And then nature is a big thing for us. All of us three, we like to be in the nature, and from that kind of feeling of belonging there, sometimes music stems. So.
And back to tour life, do you like to be on tour?
Yeah, I love being on tour. I love the feeling of going from one place to another, and then meeting new people, playing for new ears. And then of course we also prefer being, you know, touring with the bus, a nightliner, so that we stay together. So that it's not like, you know, we go drive somewhere and then everybody goes to a hotel room and then they're by themselves there. We usually prefer touring in a bus. So yeah, it's nice. I like it, and somehow it suits me. I've been traveling all my life, so it's kind of easy. What
was the best show of this year?
I don't know. There are so many good ones. The London gig we played just now in the UK was pretty good, because it was one of our first like really proper headlining shows in the UK, and it was packed with people, and there was something special about it. Then we had a nice gig at Ruisrock this summer, which was we had a good slot just before him actually. They were playing another stage and we were playing Saturday night there. So it was really nice. It was like, people came to our gig, but then like 10 minutes before we were over, everybody left because they went to see him. And that was a good gig for us. And then I got to see him as well, which was nice. Because we just like, you know, dried our sweat and we ran to see, and it was really good. They were really good. So that evening was kind of special. Because, you know, it's like late 90s when him started. We were all kind of like, we come from the same high school, and we are like, everybody is kind of in the same, you know, I don't know those guys well, but I know them. I mean, we all know each other somehow. So it was kind of nice to see that, you know, from those boys who were kind of enthusiastic, you know. I remember Miguel playing, like, he was a jazz bass player, you know. He used to play jazz. So I remember him in Sibelius High School, sitting in the corridor doing like playing jazz, and I was already a rocker at that time. So Miguel was all like, "Oh, you rockers, you know, you're just like, you know, whatever." And so he was really studying hard to play bass. And then to see, you know, that we are playing the biggest festival in Finland, so that we are on one stage, the headliners, and then him is on the big stage, the headliners. It's kind of nice to just think back, 15 years, what it was then. We were just like aspiring musicians, like 25 years ago in the same high school or something, and then just to be happy for the other person, that see that you're, my God, you have such a great band now, and you're like, so there's a lot of happiness in that. To see that people are doing well and they have good bands and they enjoy music, and you can see that there's 25,000 people going like, yeah. So it's really nice, special in that sense.
And is foreign audience different than the Finnish?
Depends. Yeah, I mean, of course, when you play for new people, it's always different. And of course, there's like a cultural thing. With last album we played a lot in Eastern Europe. So we were touring, we toured 2 big tours with Opeth and with Pain of Salvation there. And it's very different from the UK crowd, for example. And then Japanese is a totally different story. We never played Russia, so we don't know. I only played once in Russia, that was back in 90 or 91. We played in Donetsk with my previous band.
No, Donetsk isn't Russia.
No, not anymore, but that time it was Soviet Union. And it was just like 4 months before Soviet Union came down. So we played like a huge stadium, 40,000 people. But yeah, we never played in St. Petersburg or Moscow. So I don't know, but it's true that there's some cultural differences. Like Japanese are like, it's like they listen like really hard and they go ah, then dead quiet. Then you start the song again, then they go ah, then dead quiet. It's so funny.
And where would you like to play?
I don't know. I never think like that. It's just like, well, I have some like, if everything would go really well and we would have really like a lot of money, we would maybe make some like really nice concerts out in the open in some kind of like landscapey atmosphere. Of course, trying not to disturb the nature too much. But this Pink Floyd live at Pompeii, this kind of, it's an old like ruins where they play. Places like that maybe could suit for our music. And also I always loved Sigur Rós, and they're using actually the nature as a part of their art. So maybe we would do something like that. But I never really had dreams like, yeah, I'm going to play Wembley Stadium or something like that. It's always been more like just to be happy wherever we play.
And something about the history of the band. You are 3 brothers. Is it hard to play together?
Well, it's hard and easy, both. When you're brothers, you have everybody who has brothers or sisters knows that there's some kind of not competition, but there's a risk of clashing, and there is not much tolerance of idiocy in that surroundings, those surroundings. But then the good thing about playing with your brothers and doing, working with your brothers is that there's a very similar way of looking at things. You kind of know each other so well that for example on stage you can kind of read minds, each other's minds. And then we have a very similar like energy in us 3. So when all this energy is harvested and put to one direction, I feel that there's a lot of strength in it. And then the successes, when you succeed, it really feels like, it's so nice to succeed with your brothers, because you feel that we did it as brothers. And there's some sweetness in it as well. I always try to look on the bright side of things. Now, trying to forget about how hard it sometimes is to work with your brothers, and try to just think that it's actually an asset, for the band to have these, to have the three guys who are kind of very passionate and serious and deliberately like one-pointed in their doings. So when all that energy is somehow, you know, put together, it has a lot of power to, you know, to deliver the music, and I feel it's very special. That's one of the things that makes this band so special, I think, because it is special, I feel.
And how did it happen that you play together?
Well, we started as kids, you know. It started just as a play at home with tennis rackets, you know, just trying to pretend. I don't know. We have pictures that where little brother Jonne is 2, you know, and I'm 7 or something. So it was just a play, and then we started playing. I started to play piano when I was 4 or 5, and my little brother started to play when he was 4 or 5. So the music was always kind of there when we were playing, pretending to be Elvis, you know, combing our hair like Elvis, and playing with the tennis racket or something like that, in front of the mirror, of course. So it started from there, and then very soon, when you come, you know, teenage years, we started playing in bands, and then slowly, we were pretty much, you know, we were playing in different bands. And then when our father turned 50, we played together as a trio at the party. And then from there, the kind of things that we started thinking that maybe we should do things together. So, father is now 68, so that was 18 years ago.
And where did you find other guys?
Well, Juha, the keyboard player, was playing in a band with Jonne, my little brother. He was the keyboard player in Jonna Tervoma's band, who is a female singer here in Finland. And then Kakuriniemi came. I don't know. I think it was Jonne who actually bumped into him, and we had a little bit of an audition after the second album, because we started to think that okay, we are going to tour a little bit more than usually, because first album we only did 3 gigs, and then second album we started thinking maybe we should do a little more. So we were looking for a drummer, and then he came along, and the band has been the same now for 7-8 years.
In Russia, New Year is a family holiday, and people usually spend it with a family, and you are playing a gig. Is it hard for you to be on the stage this day? No,
not at all. We are so much with our family, you know, because we are a family, you know, we're anyway with the family here, so it's not at all. I think it's, you know, people celebrate, and it's really nice to be a part of that celebration. I think also him were thinking, when they started with Helden, you know, what's better than to play, to do what you love with the people you love, somewhere where people want to party, you know, because it's New Year's. It's a win-win-win situation for everyone. Now, I don't have a mentality or personality to think that I would like lock myself into some room when it's New Year's Eve. I'd rather be doing what I really love doing, which is playing, performing. So I'm very happy that we have this chance to do it.
And we wish you good luck tonight.
Thank you.
What would you like to say to your Russian listeners?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for your patience, because we haven't been there yet. And I know that there has been some like clashing with the schedules a little bit. And then when we start making another album, we try to kind of make a clear break so that we don't tour and stay in the studio at the same time. So I really wish that we will be able to come and play in St. Petersburg and Moscow at least. Maybe not this year, the coming 2014, but at least 2015 when the new album is out. So stay patient. We'll come. I'm sure we will come at some point.
We will wait for you.
Good.
I do, I don't, I'm close to insanity, I will